What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Multi-Pass to Paradise YouTube channel. It is I, Majin Drew, and of course, I couldn't do this show without my good boy. Give it up for my boy, Gein.
Go kill yourself.
Your mother. Anyways, today's episode, guys, is brought to you by Motherfucker, because this is a special episode, and with this special episode comes with a special guest, and I think we've been waiting for a while to get this guest on. I mean, we had to travel to the fucking undead.
Are you serious? We finally got George Romero?
You know that nigga ain't coming back, bro. Hell no. He's happy where he is, but we brought someone else from the dead. I make sure the Necronomicon is out. But y'all, give it up. We brought him back from the dead, straight from hell himself. He is the master of defile, and he knows how to defile a woman's lyre. Give it up for Mr. Jonny Deth, y'all.
Hello, folks. It's good to see you again.
Mr.
Hello.
Jonny Deth, please.
Hello, gentlemen. I've been on a hiatus, but I'm back with an attack. So glad to be on you guys. What's it, Gruesome Element?
Yes, welcome, Mr. Deth, to the Gruesome Element. And, you know, like I said, today's a special episode. Today's special episode is episode 3, and it is called Silence of the Hams. And this episode, let's go ahead and break it down. We're going to be talking about one of the most iconic movies in horror history, Silence of the Lambs. I mean, Jonny Deth here is honest truth. He's our go-to pop culture list. With due honors, Mr. Deth, go ahead, let us know everything you want to know about Silence of the Lambs. Give us a good synapse into it, man.
Majin Drew and Eddie Gein, I can smell your gut.
You have to bleep that. You motherfucker, we have to bleep that out.
My bad. Anyway, it's a movie hold near and dear to my heart. I love it. Love all the movies that they've come out with, including Manhunter back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, you know, anything to do with the whole mythology around
Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter and the whole storyline, I think it's just bloody brilliant. So,
I mean, and honest truth, like, I had seen clips of Manhunt. I haven't seen Manhunt all the way through, honest truth, but I have seen clips of it.
Well, Manhunter is basically the movie Red Dragon, but it's just the first attempt. I think they originally wanted to do a whole series because the Red Dragon is the first story that introduces Lecter and stuff, and it's basically almost the same element as Silence of the Lambs, where the detective or the police department looks to Hannibal Lecter to help catch a psycho killer, you know, and stuff. So
Psycho killer.
Anyway, and so it's kind of like that same thing, you know, where instead of being Clarice, it's actually a male detective. Can't remember the name. I'm sorry. It's been a long time, but basically, you know, they go talk to Lecter, and it's like, hey, we want to catch this guy. Help us out. And so he looks at the dossier and puts his 2 cents and says, oh, okay, well, you're looking for a guy that's this, that, whatever, and stuff. And then as the movie progresses, you know, it kind of helps them get closer to the killer and stuff. When they did the newer movies, they did Silence of the Lambs, and then they did Red Dragon, which was like a prequel. So, because I guess they kind of skipped the first one since Manhunter was already out. And they said, well, hey, let's get to the story, I guess, that people thought was more exciting.
Yeah, the movie starts off with Clarice Starling in Silence of the Lambs, played by Jodie Foster.
She was in Taxi Driver. She played the little 14-year-old girl that...
And let's not forget, she was a Disney actress, too, because she did Candle Shoe.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, that is a Disney movie.
But this is the one that put her, like, on the map.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, because she got notoriety for Taxi Driver.
And
but that was bad notoriety because there was guys that were like
stalking her, weren't they?
Yeah, and she was like a little 14-year-old actress, and there's guys were like, I want to have sex with you and make your face into.
Didn't one of them try to like attempt to kill her too?
Yeah, like seriously, like it was. Well, also when that came out, I mean, there was a lot of like violence going around with celebrities. You know, I mean, there was like. Ronald Reagan got shot at. A lot of political figures were getting shot at. John Lennon in 80 or 81 got killed, by a shooter. Marvin Gaye in the early 80s got killed by his own father.
Due to the fact that, there's been some celebrity deaths during the 80s and early 90s as well. I mean, Silence of the Lambs was one of the most, like I said, iconic horror movies to come out. Yeah. And I really don't count it as a horror movie. I count it as more of a crime drama.
Yeah, it's
more of a crime thriller.
Yeah, it's a crime thriller, yeah, because the true definition of a horror movie is there's the good guys, and then there's the monster, or the whoever's they're going after. They interact with that person. Maybe the monster or the villain kills a couple of them. Then at the end, they triumph over evil and defeat the monster, and whoever's left at the end is to survive. Same as The Exorcist. I don't count that as a horror movie, even though it is scary as fuck.
I count it as a biography.
Yeah, because even the director and the writer themselves said that they don't count it as a. It was meant to be like a almost like if you watch the movie, it feels like a documentary, like the way it's filmed and stuff. And
it is. Which, by the way, I'm not gonna lie, that movie still scares the shit out of me till this day.
That's one of my top 5 all-time favorite movies.
Does it still make you laugh?
Yes.
So, like, back in the movie, so we got Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling, which we know she wasn't the first one in line for the role. I guess they wanted
They wanted Michelle Pfeiffer, but she had other film projects. I think she was doing. She was coming out because she just came off of.
Wasn't it Batman? Scarface.
She came off Batman Returns. Scarface was back in the early 80s, but she was coming off of Batman Returns. She had a couple other movies. I know she did Frankie and Johnny with Al Pacino.
You know what? I just saw that one too. That shit was pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I like Nathan Lane and his. We met at a Dr. Pepper commercial. He was a big pepper. I was a little pepper.
That was the first time I actually seen Al Pacino not be like, "Yo, so what you gonna do?"
Yeah, that's a good movie.
And I know they also wanted Nicole Kidman and Halle Berry.
Oh yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
A lot of people auditioned and were considered, but a lot of people passed, and it's one of those things. I think it's good fate because I can't really see anybody other than Jodie Foster as Southern Clarice.
The accent.
As a
what was it? West Virginia?
Yeah. Hannibal Lecter's of the Rube. You're a Rube.
Coal miner's daughter.
So it kind of starts off her with like struggling.
Yeah, she's so the movie starts off how she's doing a working out. Yeah. She's doing the obstacle course. She's running and all that. I think that's where she gets stopped by one of her instructors, right?
Yeah. Well, I think in the book they reference that she's like top of her class and she's real brilliant. She's a real promising student, and then also like
a prodigy.
Well, they took in the fact the fact that she's really good at what she does and she's real smart, but also they used her for that reason, but also because physically her attractiveness, her attributes would.
I think they even talk
Lecter.
about that in the movie as well. That she's like really pretty, so all the time they're always like staring at her.
So they said it was the best because they say one, she's smart, so she can get the information she needs from Lecter, but also they want to use her sexuality, her accent, her but to entice Lecter, so he'll be more inclined to.
But one of her instructors calls her over to the Jack Crawford's office,
and then of course we see her going through the school. She meets her roommate, I think her best friend. Well, I mean, also, but he does acknowledge that she is a promising student.
Yeah.
But that little clip she did.
Well, because he mentions he goes. I remember when I did my when I visited some school that you were at. He goes, you questioned me pretty hard on my stand on, whatever.
I think I'll give you an A.
I gave you an A, and she's like, A-. And he's like, she's smart enough to get the information, but she's also
very attractive.
So, and he knew that it would get Hector thinking, being like, ooh, okay, maybe that would drop his guard, and he'd be more, inclined to share information.
So, he lays on about the Buffalo Bill case. Crawford sends her over to... the prison wherever Dr. Lecter's kept. You meet Dr. Chilton, and he also kind of alludes to the fact that she's very attractive. She's like,
I mean,
this town can be quite fun, if you know the right people.
Yeah. Well, and let's just point it out. Chilton is kind of just a horn dog, really.
Yeah.
But I think I categorize Chilton as a masochist, honestly, with a god complex.
Yeah.
That's how I look on his character.
Because when he talks about Hector. Hannibal Lecter.
Hola, my name is Hector.
It's Hector. No, he talks about him like how if you have like a fucking prize, bird. You know what I mean? Like you have this rare animal in your zoo that's there's only one of them in the world and I got it. Yeah.
Doesn't he say? He considers me his arch nemesis or something like that.
Yeah, so that's another reason why they sent Clarice in there, because if anybody else would have been like, if they knew that they had an agenda,
he would have ripped them apart.
Yeah, he would have ripped them apart. But he sent in a beautiful, smart trainee that's from the South. So of course Hannibal Lecter was like, ooh, like where do I begin with this one?
So we see her walk down the corridor.
She's walking down with Chilton down the corridor. We're going to the bottom of the cells, and that's where we meet Barney, but he's not introduced yet. Then what was it? What was that one thing that Chilton said? If you would have said that earlier, it would have saved me this trip. And then what does she say?
Oh, because she's like, well, Dr. Chilton, if you feel that Hannibal Lecter sees you as his nemesis, then I might have better luck if you're if you're not here. He's like, you might have recommended this, and saved me the trouble of walking in. And she's like, well, then I would have missed out on the pleasure of your company. And so
we meet Barney, and then
multiple Migs.
Yeah, multiple Migs. So we go down. He's all like, "I'll be watching you," and I lay the chair out for you to sit down. And then we span out. We see a couple of the other inmates. And
one thing I want to talk about real quick, just throw it in there. I know is people always say, you've heard those Mandela effects,
Yeah.
People always say that they always remember Hannibal Lecter saying, "Hello, Clarice, it's good to see you," but he never says that at all. Like,
yeah.
He says hello, and he's like, whatever. Then he introduced himself, and they start talking and stuff. But like, it's one of those things that people always say, "Yeah, I remember him." Like they remember, like they would swear their own children's lives on a polygraph test. I swear I heard him say that. And it's
they lost that child's life.
Yeah, because I've seen the movie a lot of times and that's never happened. So I just want to clear that whole, hello, Clarice, it's good to see you again. Never happened. Never happened. So,
you know who I blame for that? I blame Jim Carrey. Yeah, he fucking ruins that whole line.
So basically, he talks to Hannibal Lecter, and he sees right through her. And seems that it's just one of Jock Crawford's attempts to gain information.
At first she gives him that questionnaire, and she wants him to fill out the questionnaire, and he's like, "No, really? No. Like you want me to do this? That's kind of like like a slap into his face, because those things are for to, I guess, to get stuff out of people that like they don't know. You fill it out, you answer it, and then they say, oh, well, it says here that since Eduardo answered C to this question, he hates puppy dogs or whatever, or like Drew answered A to this question, that means he whatever. So he's like, you're not gonna dissect me with this little blunt tool. And so I think they did that as kind of like a just to see how he would react to it and stuff. And then
but of course, so he kind of rips her a new one basically, and just telling her, get the fuck out of here. But at the same time, who do we see again?
Fly, fly, fly.
Mr. Multiple Mix. And what does he do? E.G.?
I bite my wrist to make the bleeding stop. What did he say?
Yeah, and so he basically
bite my blade too. You want to see the blood? And bam.
Well, technically that's not because sperm is technically a type of blood that's kind of like converted into whatever. So it started out as blood. So
I love how this just turned into a sex talk.
Anyway, that's just a sign.
Anyway, it's like so I guess he feels bad for her about Migs.
Well, he hates rude people and he hates rude acts. So,
indiscretion, I think he pointed out.
So any kind of thing like that, is to him that's like offensive. So they said a lot of people he ate was because they were rude. You know what I mean? It was like so yeah.
He gives her the hint about Benjamin Raspiel. About the self-storage?
Well, he said, look deep inside yourself, and so she's like, I found that kind of
kooky,
kind of corny for him to say, so then I looked into it, and there's a your self-storage unit and stuff, so that's when she finds her first clue, and she finds and
then that's when we actually go
the decapitated head of
we go to the storage unit of Lecter's.
Yeah, and so she gets her first clue to, even though she really doesn't quite know it at the time, to Buffalo Bill that because Benjamin Raspo had like makeup on and he was looking like a girl, you know, that she's like, so he was a cross-dresser, and she's like, no, that, you know, he
was a transvestite.
Yeah, he saw himself as a woman, even though he was a man. So, but in his head, you know, so he's kind of helping her get, kind of like pushing her, like, okay, now, you know, to kind of push her towards, you know, his motivations and stuff and why he's killing those women. Because I think he knows, you know, why, and he's like, you know, it's all there in the dossier, you know, you just gotta like figure it out, you know. So he's giving her little hints and stuff, and then that's when they make that
quid pro,
yeah, that little thing. So she says something, you know, he tells her something, she tells him something, and so she writes that fine line of, do I let him in my head?
Yeah, because Dr. Crawford told her
don't
to specifically do not do that.
Yeah, just because you don't want him messing with your, you know, your psyche and stuff. But then she's kind of like, well, you know, like, I think she dares to be brave and is like, you know what, like, I'm gonna give it a try, you know, and I'm gonna kind of like just tell him what he needs to know and not really go into it. And I think unbeknownst to her, they make some kind of like bond, if you know what I mean. Like they you know, she's riding that fine line of trying to get information because they want to catch the killer and stuff. And
that's where actually Lecter kind of suggests what he wants, and to see what Jack Crawford can give him. Right.
So basically, he wants a
room with a view.
Yeah, so somewhere where you can look out a window and look at a tree or whatever, you know. So then Jack Crawford makes that kind of like false offer to send him to some island where he can live out there and look at the beach, and then once a week or whatever he can
Plum Island.
And then meanwhile, all that's going on, we see Buffalo Bill for the first time. He's in a parking lot
with the night goggles, the night vision goggles.
Yeah, he's stalking I guess
his next victim.
His next victim, and then he does the whole like scene with the van and the cast or whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently that's like based on
Ted Bundy.
So he would have a cast on, and he would lure.
Ted Bundy would be on the side of the road with his car, and he'd be like with a fake cast on his arm. He'd be like, "Hey, can you? I mean, I can't jack this up. Can you help me?" And then he'd knock a girl over her head with a tire iron, or he would be on the beach and say, "Hey, can you help me pull my boat? You know, whatever. I can't do it. You know, I'm kind of whatever." And then he would.
The three main serial killers he was based on was Ted Bundy, Ed Gein. Not confused with Ed Gein.
No, not confused with, no, he's not fucking revived.
And then the dude who actually had the pit.
Yeah,
what was his name?
The stalker?
I can't think of his name.
You know what? I think I have it in my notes with that. You and I actually talked about this stuff.
Well, anyways,
I'll look it up.
So he picks up a U.S. senator's daughter by mistake, apparently, but.
Well, not by mistake. I mean, he wanted her because she was the perfect size.
Yeah, but he didn't know that he was the daughter of a U.S. senator. But he was like she was the right size, and then we find out like later on that he was choosing out fat, great big fat people.
Was she roomy?
Roomy? Yeah. Well, the reason why he liked, because what he would do is the skin would be stretched out, you know, because of the extra meat on the woman. Then he would starve her, so the skin would get loose, and then from there he would cut the skin off, so it was easier to work with. I know it sounds gross, but
Gary Heidick.
He's the one that he raped like 6 or 7 women and kept them in his basement. So that element they used, you know, because he kept women. He had a pit, and he would rape women and stuff. So
okay, so then we further on into the movie. And that's where we end up. They pull up the third victim, right?
I believe so.
It was the third victim, but the first kill.
Yeah.
And so that was in where? Not West Virginia, but I forgot.
She goes to she goes with Jack Crawford to go see the body.
Yeah, because he invites her and all that.
And then they see that she has like really good like observational skills, and sees that there's something in the throat, and you find that death's head's moth.
Well, of course, let's not forget that the sexualism that had to be brought out because it was a woman, and then there was a dead body. And Jack Crawford kind of pointed that out to the chief of the police, right?
You know, well, they kind of like were like, you know, should the lady leave or should, you know, like, kind of like, you know, oh, a woman can't handle this. And then Jack Crawford kind of ups that up and says, here, tell me what you see, you know.
And then she's trying to like get all the sheriff's attention.
The officers.
They just like look at her like, this bitch.
Hey now, okay, we are very glad of what you did, and you know.
Yeah, I'm going now.
Go on now. We'll take it from here.
I would have been like, bitch, I'm leaving because I want to leave, not because you told me to leave.
But
I got shit. I gotta get to McDonald's before they shut breakfast down. So fuck y'all.
Who's the actor that played Lamont? Because he's my favorite actor.
I can't think of his name, but I know he's been in he was in like Conan the Destroyer,
and he was also in Johnny Mona. I don't know if he's in that one.
Sometimes things get caught in the mouth, like leaves and stuff. You know?
But anyways, like with the deadhead's mouse they find, she goes to like what was it?
A bug expert.
Yeah, a bug expert, and he tells them.
Which I think that's kind of funny.
One's a PhD, the other one's not. Oh, no, him. He's not a PhD.
Which is funny because like she goes to the museum, all right, and then we see them playing Bug House.
And once again, she gets hit on by.
Oh yeah, which I gotta ask you, wasn't that kind of a reference to a movie? That whole part. Are you hitting on me, Doctor?
Oh, pretty sure.
I swear that kind of reminded me of The Graduate. Are you trying to seduce me?
I think in the book she actually does go for cheeseburgers with that dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't read the book. I need to. I honestly, I've been trying to find it.
I read that like in 7th grade, so I don't know. There's stuff I remember and the stuff I don't.
Yeah. But so
she gets the information what kind of moth it is, and that this person that takes care of him. And stuff.
That he loved the moth.
And then it goes to actually, I'm not gonna lie. This is my girlfriend's fucking favorite scene, where it goes to Phil. It puts the lotion on the skin, or else precious. So that's the funny part, because that is my girlfriend's favorite scene out of the whole fucking movie. Because we get to see Buffalo Bill, and he's lowering down the cart, and he's all like, he puts the lotion on the skin, or else it gets.
I automatically think of Joe Dirt when he's all like, "Where's my Auto Trader magazine, man?"
Here.
No, but one thing in that scene, when Starling was doing the autopsy, she says that there was grit and dirt underneath the fingernails of the lady they found. And then when that girl Catherine's in the pit, and she's like, "Mister, let me out," you see a pair of fingernails embedded in the side of the pit, because that was that girl trying to claw her way out. So, but just a grim reminder that he's done this before, and
Yeah, and then so we go back to the prison, and you find out that offer that Jack Crawford made was fake, and that Dr. Chilton's taking advantage of that. So he says, "Oh, well, I got the U.S. Senator on hold," and she says that we can make you a real offer. So they make that whole arrangement over at the airport. And
that's where I kind of see the God complex that Chilton has. Because he's just like, "Listen to me, Hannibal." Like, he's really demanding, like, "You're my trophy, you're going to tell me what to fucking do, what I want."
Yeah,
which is fucking hilarious.
It's like having having a prized horse or something. You know what I mean? It's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars that you have, and everybody wants that. That thing you got, and it's and then with all the media, it's like, "Oh, well, who am I?" And if you notice when he's doing the interviews, he's like, "Hi, my name's Jack. My name's Dr. Chilton." And he's like, "That's C-H-I," that's spelling it out.
And then they get him moved to that museum place, right?
Well, first, that's where Jack Crawford gets caught in his lie.
And then also you see for the first time what's become the iconic mask with the little,
Oh yeah, the muzzle mask.
Yeah.
Senator, I love your suit.
Didn't they make that mask only for that one, or they took apart one?
I know they made it for that because they had different ones they wanted to try out, but that's the one that looked the creepiest. Also, they used that same not the same mask, but a similar one, I think, in Manhunter.
Really?
Yeah, like a similar mask. Because Hannibal Lecter is a biter.
Yeah. Didn't he take a good chunk out of a nurse trying to get his pulse?
Yeah, and well, the creepy thing about that is like his pulse never rose. You know what I mean? Like when you're in a situation when you're attacking somebody, your heartbeat races. But to him, it was just like he was just walking down the street. You know what I mean? That's kind of creepy. That you know.
But they make that offer to get him transferred to that really nice place. Was it like in a museum or something, right?
Well, they have him in that hotel for the meantime, because they're until they find her daughter. If they find her daughter in time, then
he'll get what he wants.
Then he'll get what he wants. But for now, they have him in that thing.
And then that's whenever he makes his great escape.
Yeah. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen the movie, he makes a really actually kind of brilliant escape.
Yeah,
but also you
really
see Starling. She really
she sneaks in.
Well, she brings in his old drawings and stuff that Dr. Chilton had taken away from him, and she brings them back to him, and so.
Which I think you know who got it for her? Barney.
Yeah.
I think Barney did it because Barney always had so much respect for Lecter, but that whole hotel scene, that's my favorite fucking scene, because the kind of like the dialogue between Clarice and Lecter is just like very phenomenal.
And the best part of that whole scene, even though it's just for like a brief second, is when she's giving him the paintings and he rubs her finger real gently, just kind of like, just that little touch.
Like, I love you, or some kind of like...
Just that, he needed that little touch, just to,
get by.
And it's very subtle. You just see it real briefly when she hands him the paintings and he reaches for and he grabs them and he just rubs her hand like that, and it's just like... And so then she gets the final piece of the puzzle where he's like, how do you covet stuff by... he pretty much gives her the final clue. He's like, how do you, covet stuff is stuff you see every day. So basically he's trying to tell her that, like that's why she goes back to that town when she starts, and they get that false lead that, and they're off somewhere else.
Louis' friend, I think, right?
Yeah, and they're off checking that out, Crawford and everybody, and then so he's like, just go back to the town of the original victim and ask around, whatever. And then
that's where she sees the diamonds. The diamond shaped on the back of the dress.
Yeah, and she notices it's the same patterns that on the dead bodies, and so she kind of like is like, oh my god, he's making a suit, like a woman's suit and stuff. But then Jack Crawford's so sure that they're gonna go catch Buffalo Bill, he's like, okay, we'll just hang tight, Starling. We're gonna go whatever.
She ends up at the house of the real Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite quotes. Was she a great big fat person?
Wait, was she a real big fat person?
Which?
Yeah, I think I got her number, or her son's number, and then he invites her inside, and she knows he's a little odd because,
I thought the first thing she noticed was the smell.
No, I think she was just, at first she was like, I guess like just, she didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she saw that moth, the death head moth, that she put two and two together, and that's when she's like,
Can I borrow your phone, sir?
But you could tell before that she was kind of like a little like, this dude's a little off, so she kind of like unbuttons her gun a little bit, just kind of like, just in case this motherfucker goes, goes turbo on me, I'm gonna,
Then he runs out down to the cellar and they chase after.
I have to admit, that's one elaborate cellar, man. I mean, you know what I mean? Because it's got like 6-8 rooms, and it's got a pit, and then like
it's bigger than your pit.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a long time ago, don't throw fat chicks down the pit because you try to pull them up, it's all.
One of
they have upper body strength.
One of my favorite scenes in this movie is like the whole pitch black scene, whenever he has the goggles. Shows everything in
I remember that part.
night vision.
I remember that part. People were, those people that like Eddie Gein. I love him to death, but they're all like, real, oh, that wouldn't happen like that, or you
oh, the skeptic.
They're like that was not a real green
because people were complaining that there was a shadow. Like,
you can see shadows, you see like lights or something like that. They go, that's not a real infrared. Real infrared, we wouldn't be under there. And I was like, it's a movie. I go, you're supposed to suspend disbelief for a few seconds that
But you know what? That's why I like having EGO here come to the movies with us, because he kind of puts out the realism in some of the fucking movies.
Yeah, because we watch a movie and I'm like, man, I fucking loved it. I love, I got.
And then who comes in?
I got what they're going for, and it's like, and then Drew's like, yeah, man, I thought this was cool. I thought this was cool. Eddie, how'd you feel about it? It was fucking stupid.
Are you talking about Avengers?
Yes.
Avengers, Brightburn.
I love the girls.
Halloween.
They all team up, and I'm like, that's fucking stupid.
Avengers, Brightburn, Halloween.
Leave it to him to point out the sexism.
No, it still bothers me because, like, out of nowhere, like, all the females are like, oh yeah, let's all group up together and like take a picture or something.
Why do you hate women?
Take an Instagram picture.
No, I noticed that when I started too, and I was like, but I didn't see nothing. But
anyway, that's why I like having him go to the movies with us, because like he really does point out the realism of it, and just kind of makes you think about like, God damn it, why did you have to say it? No, you have not ruined movies for me.
But anyways, that pretty much sums it up. Like,
yeah, it sums it up, but also
the ending.
The ending, yeah, there was an alternate ending.
So in the book, the way it ends is really boring. She graduates and they say, Starling, you got a phone call. So she answers it, and it's Lecter, and he's like, hey, congratulations, and you finally silenced the lambs in your head, or blah blah blah, whatever he says in the book. It's been a while. It's been years. 25, 30 years. So anyways, I read the fucking book. So anyway, so then they're like, well, that's kind of boring for an ending, even for a book ending, that's kind of like, So the original ending was. Hannibal Lecter's talking to her on the phone, and then he goes, I'm about to have dinner, ta-ta, and he hangs up. And then you see him walking towards Dr. Chilton tied up in a chair, and he's about to, and he starts cutting him up and stuff, and then... But they thought that was too graphic of an ending, like they, and so...
Yeah, but the ending for the movie is still pretty good. Like, it does it subtly, because he's stalking him. It shows him like he's like kind of like an animal.
And honestly, I like endings like that, where you don't really see what happens, but you kind of like let your own mind,
I think they call that the Stephen King ending.
You kind of root for Dr. Lecter too, because he's like, oh, he's gonna get his revenge or whatever for all the shit that.
Well, it's also he said to Stephen King, but also it's Alfred Hitchcock used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock had this theory. He goes, how to build suspense. He goes, you tell the audience that there's a box underneath the table, and in that box is a bomb that's going to go off at any time. And then you do other shit, in the movie, but then you still realize, wait a minute, that box is still under there. It could go off at any second. So you got that, your mind creates that suspense where you're like, is that bomb going to go off? So you got that in the back of your head, because he told you it's going to go off. And then, so it's building that drama. So, like, same thing with this. It's like, I'm going to go have a friend for dinner, and they see Dr. Chilton in the background in, like, Cuba or wherever the fuck they're at, or South America.
I thought it was Jamaica.
Was it Jamaica?
Yeah, I think so. It was Jamaica.
Yeah, look alike to me.
Yeah. But, like, you see him, like, freaking the fuck out. He's still, like, even though, like, he knows, like there's probably, like, no way that Dr. Lecter could make it to Jamaica, he's still, like, looking all over his shoulder and everything.
Yeah.
Well, didn't when he escaped, they say, well, he also killed a passenger and took his passport.
Oh, did
so yeah, that's how he kind of got to Jamaica on his own. And plus, also, Dr. Lecter kind of hid a lot of money away, if you look at it this way, because he had a storage unit that he paid off
years in advance.
Yeah, years in advance, and then he probably has money left over.
Miss Moffat.
But I mean, so the movie, honest truth, it had great reviews. Jodie Foster got an Academy Award, didn't she?
Well, the movie made 5 Academy Awards, right?
Yeah.
Best actor, best picture, best...
I think best writing, script.
Yeah, I don't remember if any of the special effects, because of that, or anything, but I know they got a lot of awards for it and stuff, and
I mean, in honest truth, like, it was a good movie. I saw this movie when I was 8 years old. And
I think I saw it probably like when I was 6 or 7 on Telemundo.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that when Telemundo
started? Yeah, they would play it all the time too.
But I also saw it. I saw it because we had that bootleg cable. And so we had like HBO for free, and that's where it came out. It was on HBO when I saw it.
Well, see, me, I grew up in the VHS movie renting era back in the 80s.
Me too.
Every weekend, my family would get together and we would literally rent a stack of tapes. Start from Friday and just keep watching all the way through Sunday and stuff. So,
but it was like a big inspiration to like other movies and even some anime that I know.
Really?
Yeah, there's a couple of anime, like detective kind of anime.
Oh, okay.
It inspired some of that.
But I mean, so the movie is by far, it kind of still holds up to this day. Now, I actually have some questions. I have written down some questions, and actually, me and my girlfriend and I went over them, and let's see what we got here.
Just so you know, his girlfriend's a sock puppet. Hello, how you doing today, honey? No, I'm just kidding.
She's gonna fucking kill you, bro. She's gonna kill you.
Hey, Chrissy, don't kill me. I'm reading off the script. Your boyfriend.
Great. It's all the fucking mountain oysters all over again.
Hey, we'll get some mountain oysters and we'll
why is it? I can't read it. It's BIT what?
Okay, so my first question is, could Clarice Starling become Dr. Lecter's apprentice?
No.
No?
No. She's too pure for that. I don't think she would.
I think she could.
I think she has respect for him, but I don't think she would ever.
I think like how I was talking about, like it inspired anime. There's an anime called Psychopaths, where like basically there's like an investigator. She's like a rookie, and she's like going into the world of serial killers, and they fear like, oh, she might become tainted and become like one of them, like a kind of like corrupted or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's kind of they were kind of hinting at like she's gonna become corrupted a little bit by Lecter.
But I don't think they kind of hinted that until Hannibal, right?
Until I think Hannibal.
Even in Hannibal, after being drugged and being rescued by Hannibal, she still was like, But if you believe in the whole multi-universe, there is a universe where Clarice becomes
why not fucking Avengers
becomes Hannibal's lover,
and she develops a taste for human flesh. But
right.
In this universe, I say no.
Okay. Next question: did anyone check up on the fucking cat?
What cat?
The senator's daughter's fucking cat. Like, seriously, that's what bothered me through the whole fucking movie.
Oh, she was.
She was adopted, and the cat was just.
Oh right.
It was later on.
I don't fucking like cats.
But yet you still claim to eat pussy.
That's a different kind of cat.
I think Buffalo Bill went back and lured the cat. Hey, kitty, come here, kitty, come here. Come get some. He's like, I want chicken, I want liver, yum mix. And the cat came out and he goes, hey, motherfucker, and he hit him over the head and he's like, Precious, you want some cat?
That's what the chicken bones were.
And then Precious is getting her little puppy paws and tucking her. Oh, she don't have a dick because it's a girl. And she comes out and eats the cat. So that's what happened to the cat. It's in the book.
Now, if you were a serial killer, what would be your trophy from your victims?
I think I'm gonna go full on predator, and I will take a skull.
The whole skull and spine?
Yeah, and I'd be like, yeah, that's Catherine, that's Tiffany up there. Wait, no. That's Tiffany. That's Susie. That's
I think what I would do is like.
And I'm gonna have a whole wall devoted to Karens that I killed.
Oh, that's Karen from Eastwick.
This one says she hated black people, so I put her right there. And this one says she hated Oriental people, so I put her over here and stuff. And it's a whole wall of Karens as I took care of them.
Probably what I would do is like taxidermy. You know how like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like embalm them and like have them as like a sculpture.
Really?
What?
I'm afraid to go to sleep at night now.
I haven't thought about. I haven't thought about
I
this.
can see it now that there's a taxidermy woman in the corner. I'm like, well, Eduardo, were you making sandwiches? Why? 'Cause there's mayonnaise on this leg of this stuffed woman, and I'm like, that ain't mayonnaise. That ain't mayonnaise. And be like, it's good.
Hey, don't worry. He has a lot of Germex around the house too.
True that.
No, but I'm actually out.
You're out?
Yeah, I need to steal some from work.
I think for me, probably their eyes. I know I that kind of sounds like kind of redundant to do, but I feel like just taking like their eyes just for the fun of it. Like Jeepers Creepers.
You'd have to put them in like formaldehyde or something.
Yeah,
like they
pickle jar.
Yeah,
pickle jar.
Because they deteriorate real fast, you know.
How do you know? How do you know? You don't have personal experience, do you?
Alright. Fucking taxidermy. Like, I'm really afraid to go to sleep now.
What?
I don't want. I wanted to ask you over for a sleepover, but never mind. No. Okay. So in all the movies, so this movie has Silence of the Lambs is part of 4 movies, right? So there's Manhunter, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and then Hannibal Rising. Now, do you believe like Hollywood would be stupid enough to do a biopic for Clarice Starling?
No.
There wouldn't be enough interest.
Yeah, there's not enough interest. Like the whole reason why the series took off was because Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Dr. Lecter. So.
But I also see it kind of because there is that big gap between Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal. That kind of is interesting because I remember, what was it, in the beginning of Hannibal, she went after someone who said that she's been after her several times. I think it was some kind of gang lord.
Oh no, they're just.
If they do something like that, it wouldn't be a biopic. It'd be like a prequel. But they would only show like a little clip. And then
yeah, but the mains, it's like watching Happy Days without the Fonz. It's like nobody wants to watch Happy Days without the Fonz. You know what I mean? Like, so without Hannibal Lecter, I don't think people would, like. That's why I'm not excited about the new Black Widow movie, because it's like, it's just Black Widow.
Yeah, I don't really care either.
Isn't it like Black Widow like passing on the torch to her sister?
I don't know. That's why I think they added all these different superheroes.
I mean,
to make
that's the speculation at the moment.
Yeah.
They haven't. I don't think they've really like seen. I don't think we've really seen that in the trailers.
But so I think a Starling movie by herself.
Yeah. So if this movie got remade nowadays, who would you cast to be Lecter?
I would cast Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, he did pretty good in Joker.
I would have to say it'd be a toss-up between like what's that guy from Breaking Bad?
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. I think he would make a good Hannibal Lecter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like.
He did Zordon.
Yeah. Or I'm trying to think of the other actor I was thinking about. But yeah, he'd be like my top pick, and if they couldn't get him, then like Jared Leto. No,
not Jared Leto.
They get him for everything.
Get Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Alrighty now, Clarice.
Well, Clarice.
I think Daniel Day-Lewis could do it. Yeah. If he came back to acting, I think Daniel Day-Lewis could do it. Okay, then who would you cast as Starling?
Margot Robbie.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, she did. She did good in Wolf of Wall Street.
Or surprisingly, that I think would do a good job because she's been doing like some Kirsten Wiig.
Oh, I was gonna go with that too.
I would cast what's her face from Pitch Perfect, the redhead.
Anna Kendrick.
I think so. I think she'd be a good pick.
She creeps me out because she don't have a top lip.
Oh my god. I think definitely I would have chose Kristen Wiig to do it, but I honestly will probably go to Melissa McCarthy. Even though she's actually done she's done like some dramas.
I would pick her for like the senator.
Yeah, because she's kind of old, right?
Senator Ruth Martin.
She looks old, but she still has like a baby face. But Melissa McCarthy, she actually has done a lot of drama movies before what we known her from, like Mike and Molly and all the other stuff she's done. So she's actually a good drama actor. I think she could probably pull it off, but maybe as a female version of Jack Crawford.
See, I think Melissa McCarthy, I like her work, I love her stuff, but I think she got the curse. What I mean by that is like John Candy and like Chris Farley.
The comedy curse.
Yeah, and like Jack Black. You know what I mean? You see him as these big old like big goofy. I'm gonna
Yeah, I mean everybody.
And so then you want to see him in that, and then like what's his name? Jonah Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a couple years he was in everything. He was in like like Knocked Up.
Moneyball.
He was in Moneyball. He was in Super Bad. He was in
40-Year-Old Virgin.
40-Year-Old Virgin. He was in all these movies, and then once he got skinny, there was like, oh yeah. Well,
do you have any more questions?
I mean, other than those questions, I got none. I mean, do y'all have questions for yourselves or anything I want to ask?
How would y'all feel if Gene Hackman or Sean Connery had gotten?
I don't know,
because they both were. Well, Gene Hackman was first considered for Hannibal Lecter, and then they say, well, if we can't get Gene Hackman, we want to get Sean Connery. So, hello, Clarice, come on in. Yeah.
I don't know. Like the Scottish accent will probably throw me off real bad.
Like how would he his think about his lines? You know, multiple MiGs in the next shell. Yeah, you know. He said he can smell your what? You know, it's like
Gene Hackman. I don't know. Honestly,
I love Gene Hackman. He's you know, what if they got Jack Nicholson?
Jack.
Hey Clarice, have a seat. I don't fucking give a damn. Sit down if you
gotta be a straight shooter.
All right, you wanna wrap it up?
Yeah. All right, guys. That is gonna be the end of episode 3 for the Gruesome Element. We want to thank our special guest, Mr. Jonny Deth. Go ahead, give him an applause, round of thumbs ups, and let's give a big thanks to our technical friend.
By technically means
he does all the technical shit we don't want to do.
Exactly. No, but I gotta give it up for Mr. EG here. He actually does take the time out of his day to do some of the work. He takes his time out of the day during the whole week just to try to like get this whole thing together, snip it, clip it, and paste it. You know what I mean?
You gonna pay me $50, right?
I'll do it in a blowjob, but not $50.
You gay.
Man, I'm broke. Alright, you know the stories. I lost my money at the fucking casino.
But anyways, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it.
Please do.
Click that bell notification.
And please share it and spread the word.
Also, don't forget to leave comments. Let us know what other movies you want us to talk about. Funny movies, comedies, whatever you like. But if you choose the wrong fucking movie, we're going to throw an egg at you. Thank you again, guys.
I'm going to show up at your back door and be like, you fuck me. I fuck me. Actually, I wouldn't because I'm not that desperate.
But thank you again, guys. Have a good day. This is the Gruesome Element.